kind of fueled Arkansas's comeback in the second half, and just kind of how did you keep steady both halves the way you did?
What fueled them was they kind of got going in the second half. They came out hot, ran a play, got a 3 for Ramirez, and it just started from there. But with my team, I feel like we've been put in a lot of situations from just last year to this year. So teams are going to make runs. We're aware of it. But we know how to stay composed, stay locked in, and we really just listen to Coach Blair. He's calling the sets. All we have to do is score and run the plays right. It's simple.
Chennedy, you weren't in this game in the SEC tournament. What was it for you personally to be able to play against this Arkansas team?
At first, it was like, wow, like, I'm back, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I actually get to play with my teammates tonight. And then I just started to get focused and get locked in. I remember the feeling that we felt in the SEC. Even though I didn't play, I still felt the loss. You know, I wanted me and my teammates to win and experience that. So for us to come out and get this win today, it really meant a lot to me and my teammates. And it meant a lot to me just because I got to be alongside with Miss Double-Double here. I mean, 13 rebounds and 22 points. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, India, talking about that rebounding, just how were you guys able to be so successful inside the paint and underneath the basket and get those second chance points tonight?
We realized we're a bigger team, so we focused on trying to pound it in the paint, because if we pound it in the paint, then it gives our guards an opportunity to get their shot off, because a lot of teams double us, and as you saw tonight, they doubled us a little bit. But I think the Post did a good job sealing, and rebounding-wise, I feel like we always rebound well. We know that if we rebound, like, offensively, we get a second opportunity for our team. And defense, we try to make sure that the other team doesn't get a second opportunity. So I think we focus on rebounding and pounding it in the paint a lot.
And also, we just trust our post players. We just trust them. When we run the plays, we come off a screen. We know if the shot isn't there or if we miss it, one of those two are going to be down there to get the rebound and put it back in for us. So just trust.
Anything else for the players?
This question's for both y'all. Talk about at the end when y'all kind of seem to take away their penetrating pitch. I mean, what kind of told y'all to kind of navigate towards that to keep them from hitting those big threes on the comeback?
Well, we knew that the 3 was coming. We in practice we knew, like, they shoot a lot of threes. So we know that they're going to hit a couple. But we tried to focus on running them off the three-point line and picking them up a tad bit higher than what we normally would, so they don't shoot threes. So towards the end, when a couple timeouts were called, we were like, they can get a layup, don't foul, don't get a 3. So we knew to get in our stances and pick up the ball and make sure that we ran them off the three-point line.
As for me, I'm just a player that visually sees everything. I feel like there's nothing on the court that I can't see offensively and defensively. I can read it. So when Dungy got the ball, like on the side out of bounds, we 9 times out of 10 know who it's going to go to, Toll-Free or Dungy. So when Indy was on there, I seen neighbors yell, baseline rip, baseline rip. I was already in help. I was already there waiting. So really it's just defensive principles and just staying within what Coach Starkey said. He said, help on Dungy, help play her honest, but make sure you get back to your man to close out. So I was just there and trying to help Indy out. And we got 2 really big stops at the end.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It's good to be back. I also expressed my sorrow on the loss that y'all had at the square a few weeks ago. It's just a doggone shame. It was tough. My daughter was down on the square 10 minutes before it happened taking Christmas pictures, but life sometimes kicks us in the teeth and we can not answer why or who or what, but I'm very sorry for that happened, particularly in Fayetteville, and what a great town, what a great town. The game itself, we shot the heck out of the 3-ball early against their zone. We knew it would be zone. He switched to man in the second half, and he executed his man better than we ran our man offense in the third quarter. We turned it over 7 times, I believe, in the second half, only 4 in the first half, but 5 of them were in that third quarter. And that was just carelessness on our part and taking things for granted. But, folks, this was a hard game for Mike or I to coach. Neither one of us was looking forward to it. We finished the season last year at my place on the last game when Chennedy broke her pinky and didn't get to play in the tournament. And then they ran us 17-0 in the SEC tournament. So we really respect what Arkansas does. But what we do, we always try to have 4 kids in double figures. No matter how many Chennedy gets, we got to have 4. In the first half, we were 7 out of 10 in the paint and 6 out of 11 or something like that in the second half, and got hammered a few times in the second half. But I'm sure Mike could say the same thing. But I thought we played an IQ game. When you have an IQ game and both teams, 9 turnovers and 11 turnovers, that was good basketball. That's why there was 4,000 or whatever you had in the stands. They're going to come back because of the way the game was played. Mike is a top 25 team, and he'll be in the NCAA tournament. And I'm glad I'm only playing him once this year, because I'm playing the top 7 teams in the league all on the road. Every single one of them, I've got to go to their place. But my schedule prepared us for this. We're 9th in RPI, not because of 12th and 1. We have faced every combination, every triangle and 2, every box and 1, everything in the world. We've overcome adversity on good games and bad games by certain kids, and we found a way. Questions?
Coach,
What did y'all do on Dungy, especially the first half, to keep her?
Sometimes it's not what we did, it's what Dungy didn't do. Because I'm sure she got an earful at half, and I'm sure Mike said, play like an All-American, because she's that good. Second half, she played like an All-American. She was strong on finishing. It doesn't take her long to get that shot off. They hurt us on the pick and roll. They hurt us on a lot of it. We were basically in a matchup zone the main part of the game. Dungy's just that good. And when Toll-Free gets hot, you just got to hope that she's out for a while, or Ramirez gets that hot, but you're never going to shut down all 3 of them. And I thought we spread it out pretty good among those 3. Don't worry, he's got help coming. Next year, he'll probably be a top 15 team to start the year, because that's how good they're going to be next year. Yes, sir.
how about Johnson and Jones? They were, 33 points and 24 rebounds between them. That's quite a night.
Well, y'all didn't have the size. You had a 4-guard off a defensive team. And we should have scored a couple more, particularly in the third quarter. We ran a little slip play, and she missed the bunny. But you got to remember, let's just say I wasn't able to give Wilson as many looks as I wanted to. She got into early 2 fouls. Wilson she has killed it the last 3 ball games for us. And I feel guilty because she had all her relatives over here from Oklahoma. But Carter and Wells were playing so good. Difference in the ball game for you stat lovers. My point guard, 8 assists to 1 turnover, 5 rebounds, 4 out of 6 from the line. You always put down who scored the most, who directed the most. My teams are built on point guards, as you know, from Christy Smith and Amy Wright. And this little kid has done a great job. She's the one that came in for Wilson when Wilson blew her ACL last year, and now we can't get her out of the lineup. Wilson will get her minutes. I wish it would have been more in this game. Question?
I think it was a 4-point game, Gary. Arkansas came out of a timeout, toll-free drives, doesn't hit the rim. Do you remember what you did defensively on that?
No, we didn't try to give up the drive. I think we contested, rotated over. I thought it was a 2-point game. They shot to tie it, didn't they? They shot to tie it as a 2-point ball game. And the shot that Dungy missed at the end on the drive and Toll-Free shot, those were probably the 2 biggest misses he'd love to have back. Maybe they weren't used to shooting so close because they made everything else from the outside. I said before the game started, looking at the SEC schedule, this was by far the best game because I knew South Carolina would take care of Kentucky at home. So we're going to try. All right, my assistant just gave me the cut sign. We got to get on a plane and get back. But appreciate all you guys. Keep writing a good word, and I read the Democrat all the time. I really do. Appreciate y'all. Somebody buy one for Nate tonight.